Hello everyone, and welcome to another weekly video. Uh, in this video, I wanted to go over the week 4 assignment, or at least parts of it, since sometimes it's going to cause some confusion. But basically, I highlighted the verbiage or the details of the assignment, and as you can see, we basically started, or we ended really with this project file so far from the week 3 assignment. So we got all the WBS tasks inside. We got our duration populated, and then again, the start and end date could be different from what you have because again, when I first started playing with this file was way back in 2017. And then we also populated the predecessors. Okay, so that's where we're starting off with the week 4. And so week 4 is basically asking us to well, actually, one thing is, if you note here, I don't know if you did this already or not, but we are basing this project on a 56-hour week. So that means that we are working on Saturdays and Sundays. Uh, so before getting deep into this assignment, let me just show you how to modify uh, the project week. So under Project tab, click on Change Working Time. Now you can see here that legend says the white means it's working and then the gray means not working. So you can already see from this image here is that, or this calendar here, is that we are working Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and we're off on Saturday and Sundays, or Saturday and Sundays. Okay, so I need to change the calendar within project to say that I want to work also Sundays and Saturday and Sundays. And you can also see here that it says the working hours are from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. And then there's, I guess, a lunch break. And then we start again working from 1 to 5. So total working, as you can see here, is 8 hours. So we have 4 hours in the morning and then 4 hours in the afternoon. All right. Now, what I need to do again is I need to modify so I have 7-day working weeks. So I'm going to go in the tab here. It says work weeks. Click on it. And then I'm going to go into the details. And as you can see here, I have Sunday highlighted and there's no working hours. But if I click on Monday, I get to see that the hours are from 8 to 12 and 1 to 5. So I see that for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then comes Saturday and it's disappeared. Okay, so I need to highlight now Saturday and Sunday by clicking on Control and then clicking on Sunday. So now I have both of them highlighted. And then I'm going to click on Set Days to the specific working times. So I'm setting I'm setting Saturday and Sunday. Click on this. So I want to set these 2 days. And then in the from to, I'm going to set it equal to, again, I want to follow the same schedule as it says up here from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., then 1 to 5. So I'm going to click on my from. I'm going to type 8. I'm going to hit enter. And then I'll change this in a moment. And then I'm going to type 1. I'm going to hit enter. Okay, so start at 8, start at 1. Let me modify this to be 12. And then I'm going to modify this to be 5. Okay, sorry, let's make it 5. There we go. All right, so for Saturdays and Sundays, I'm setting these days with these specific work times, which are I start from 8 to 12, and then I start from 1 to 5, just like it says up here. All right, hit an OK, and now you can already see that my Saturday and Sundays are all white, which means they're working days. And then I hit OK. All right, 66. When before there used to be 262. Not sure if you caught that or not, but the days changed, the duration changed. So to fix that, to go back to the 262, notice how here there's a task mode, and the task modes for some of the tasks or the summary tasks, they are automated, while the pins, which belong to the actual tasks, are manually scheduled. Okay, so we need to change all of them back to automatically scheduled. So I'm going to highlight all my tasks, and when I do that and change them back to manual to automatic, the way to do that is go up to the task field, task menu, and then here under the tasks you have the manually scheduled and you have the auto scheduled. So if I click on auto scheduled and then scroll up here, you can see now they're all automatically scheduled. And then in the duration, we're back to 262, which is where we started out with. Okay. Uh, Going back to here, so again, this says just make sure that you are working 56 hours, Saturday and Sundays, which we just did. Now, we need to start adding resources, and resources are people, and people cost money. So here they gave us a table of we have a project manager, a website developer, system engineer, system team manager, event runner, and they gave them names, and they gave them also a rate, a standard rate, which is something per hour. So we need to add these. If we look in our project file again, what we have so far, well, right now there's a resource column. If you don't have it, you can just add a new column that's called resource names. Uh, and if you already have it, you can basically click on any line for a task, and then you get a pull down arrow. If you click on it, right now there's nothing. Okay, and that's because we need to add resources. To add resources, we go all the way up here under the Gantt chart pull down menu, click on it, and there's a resource sheet. And we're also going to be working with the resource usage as well as the resource graph. I'll show it to that either in this video or another video. So let's click on resource sheet, and right now it's blank. So we need to add, where do we go? Okay, we need to add a project manager and assign them a rate of $120 per hour. Let's go back here and resource name, project manager. The type is work. There are three types. There's work, material, and cost. Work is basically for their labor. Cost is, for example, if you're traveling expenses or these kind of costs, renting a car, for example. And material is, any material that you use for the project. So I'm going to do work because it's a person. For the standard rate, we said it's going to be 120 hours and hit enter. So now I just entered my first resource. If I go to my project file, I'm in the right one, go back to the Gantt chart in the WBS. Now in the, and also, I'm sorry, in week 4, there is a PDF document that's associated with this assignment, and it tells you who gets assigned to what. Well, let me expand this because it's probably just too small to read. There we go. So on the left side, on the left column, we have the task names, and then on the right side is what resource we need to attach to this task. So on the very first one, finalize project team, we need to give it the person who's assigned to it is the project manager. So if I go back to here in the resources column, resource names column, and then in the project team, finalize project team, I click on the pull down arrow. Now I should have, if I have more than one resource, I'm going to see all of them here. So I'm just going to click on the person that I want to assign this to. Okay, and then I can exit out of that. Oops, sorry. Here we go, hit enter. Okay, so now the project manager is assigned to this finalized project team. And to see the cost, we can add a cost column. And now we finally have a cost associated with this line because I finally associated a resource, and that resource has a cost. Okay, and again, everything else is 0 because we didn't assign anything yet, any resource to it. So what you need to do is go back to the resource sheet and then add all the other 4 resources as you can see here. Okay, so I'm not going to do it for you, but just I added one person for you and then added that person to the resource names in the WBS. Okay. Okay, so once you completed entering all the resources to the resource sheet and then added them to the resource names for the WBS, you should have something that looks like this. Okay, and if you go back to the resource sheet, you will have basically this table the way it looks. We have the different names. Again, they're all work types. These are the initials by default. And then we have a standard rate, again, all per the assignment instructions, which is this area here. Okay, now the instructions, so this is part 1. And then part 2, it's basically saying that by now we have over allocated our resources. And what this basically means is that some resources are working more than 8 hours a day, which is getting burned out. And that's why we see them in the color red. And that's why in the WBS, the Gantt chart, we also see the red man icon. That means they're burning, they're being over allocated, so the red color means they're burning out. Okay, so we need to fix that. There are a few things we can do to fix the over allocation. One of them, for example, is, well, let's see in the resource graph. For example, let's scroll back to web developer. Okay, and web developer, and there we go, web developer. So, okay, so right now we're in the project manager actually, and there we go. So in project manager, I'm trying to see where that red icon, there we go, the red icon. Okay, so the red means, again, as it says here, over allocated. The blue means you're okay. So that means that on certain days, this person, this resource, which is a project manager, is working 16 hours because, again, this line here means it's 8 hours or 100%, and then another uh, another bulk or another rectangle jumps us to 200. So that means they're working double days or double hours on those days. Another place to see the same exact thing, if you don't want to look at a graph, click on the drop down arrow, go to resource usage, and here you can see again the project manager is red and the website developer is also in the red. And now here, for example, you can see that on this particular day, uh, he or she is working 16 hours. And if you scroll down a bit, you'll see that the 16 hours comes from working 8 hours for this task, as well as working on the same day 8 hours. Where's my icon? On this day as well, on this task as well. So he's working 8 hours on this task, as well as 8 hours on this task, which we can't have, of course. So we need to figure out some sort of a solution to how can we divide this up. I'll give you one option. For example, if we go back to the resource sheet, this column here, the maximum units, this basically says, this means it's one person working at 100% maximum, okay? And this is not enough. We need two people, basically, project managers, at least to solve this overallocation problem. Is it feasible? Is it possible? That's another story. But just to fix the overallocation problem, we can change this number to 200%. What this basically means is I'm going to have two resources assigned to this job. So instead of 100%, I'm going to make it 200 and hit enter. And when I do that, now we're back in the black, which means we're not overallocated anymore. And if we go here, back to the resource usage, my project manager is no longer in the red. Okay. If you go back to resource sheet, from my because I've worked with this assignment before, I know that my website developer, to fix him or fix her, we need 5 project developers. Okay, so I'm going to change this number to not just 200, but 500. And now we're in the black. And this one also needs to be 200. And this one also needs to be 200. So now everything is in the black. If I go back to my Gantt chart, I should not see any more red men icons. So no one is being burned out. Okay, so that's one way to fix your overallocation problem and make the red men disappear, the manual way. There are other automated ways which the assignment says do not do them. So just make sure that you try to do it the manual way. Another thing we will notice here is that after we added cost, well, if I type cost now, I'm up in the 430,000, and the assignment says we need to stick to being somewhere around the 120,000. So it's asking you to research, what's a typical hourly rate for these guys. Is it 120 per hour? Is that fair? Is 95 per hour? Is that fair? And so on. But to stick to our constraint of having only $120,000, so we need to reduce this value from 430,000 somehow down to 120,000. And the way to do that is we need to change the rate that we assign to our resources. So for example, if you go back to the resource sheet, so instead of 120, I'm going to give them, again, I'm going to divide by 4 almost everything. So let's make this 30. We can make this 25. We can make this 15. We can make this 15, and I can make this 10. Okay, so again, these are just estimates on my part so that we can meet the budget constraint of $120,000. So go back to my Gantt chart, and now the cost has changed to 114,000. Okay, so again, these might not be real world solutions, but again, when you're working on a project and you have so much constraints, you have to cut something or change something in order to meet these constraints. And what I just demonstrated here is just some examples and how to think and also how to modify the actual Microsoft project file so that it could meet these constraints. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions on anything regarding the project, how to set up the WBS, how to assign resources, how to reduce overallocation, how to fix costs, anything related to the project file, just please do let me know. I'll be more than happy to make more videos for you guys. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll be seeing you in class. Take care, everyone, and bye for now.